That's arguably the wrong answer, but it's very easy to see why this anonymous voice on the wind might think that way. Spider-Man 2, the 2004 movie tie-in game, is, especially today, a bit... Hold on a second, I need to look this up. Bletchy. Bletchy? Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. Spider-Man 2 is bletchy, a word which this dictionary describes as ugly, stupid, and unpleasant in most ways. It's got a boring story, bad voice acting, garbage textures, slow loading of those textures, forgettable missions, repetitive and annoying random events. Shut up about your balloon, little girl! It's just a balloon! You didn't even pay for it! I'm freaking Spider-Man! Do you not think I have anything better to do than constantly chase balloons all day? Sometimes balloons just get lost, okay? And if they don't, they pop. And if they don't pop, they just deflate slowly like an old woman's face. It's a life lesson! Everything ends! Everything! Alright, here you go. The point is, Spider-Man 2 is not normally a game you'd play for 10 hours, let alone 30 or more. But there's one thing about it that's so good, that's exactly what you'll end up doing. You'll ignore all the bad things and focus entirely on one feature. The web slinging. Spider-Man 2 nailed web slinging, nailed it right to the wall. Spider-Man's unique method of transportation, which in case you're blind and living under a rock, is ejaculating a line of spider web from his wrist onto a building and then swinging on it like a vine before slinging out another, and so on and so forth until all of New York is covered with his goo, probably a metaphor for something that. In any case, it's this style of getting around that everyone thinks of first when they think of Spider-Man, and the thing about him that's hardest to emulate in real life. The costume, lifting heavy objects, sensing danger around every corner. It's all far easier than shooting strong yet disposable lines that stick where you want to and propel you forwards between skyscrapers. Believe me, I've tried. The way it works is simple. Hold down the jump button and release to get into the air. Then sling your web towards any object in the environment. Keep it held and hold down the jump button again. Then release to jump off that web before launching out another. At first, you'll bump around all over the place, but soon you'll start to aim your webs and plan your routes. Holding down the sprint button makes you swing faster, and pressing sprint and web sling will perform a web zip, a forward movement that can get you across short gaps without breaking your flow. With no lines attached, you can tap the jump button to perform tricks, and if you double tap the web button, you can fire 2 lines, then catapult yourself off both with an unlockable upgrade, a mostly pointless technique, but a fun one all the same. The crawl button, when used with the sprint, becomes a wall run, which is a bit fiddly, but very impressive if you can pull it off between swings. The finished result is something not unlike the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games, a control scheme that's as much about how you move as where you're moving. Spider-Man 2 is worth going back to for this experience alone.
Oh no, my balloon!
That and balloon chasing. Can't get enough balloon chasing. It's like a hunger. Insatiable.